Wow. What's that like? Is it just, is that freedom? Does that like, what, have you ever had
Yeah.
that? Do you remember when you had it before? Or have you never ever actually felt like this?
I don't think I've ever felt like this. And the biggest and most impactful area of my life where I'm noticing this is with my son. Like I don't want to scream. Like, and usually he would just be a 6-year-old
Yeah.
and be loud.
Yeah.
And I don't want to hear loud. So I would explode. And now, hey buddy, if we want to be loud, let's go outside. You can be as loud as you want outside. And it's been working. I don't know if he's noticed a difference. He might not be at the age where he has the level of awareness
Yeah.
to realize that, but I certainly have, and the other people in my life have it as well.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Master Plant Talk. As always, I am Tyler Hurst of Microdose Yoga, and today with me is Nathan Henderson. Nathan, who are you and what makes you come alive?
I am Nathan Henderson. I come alive when I am out in the mountains by myself.
Okay. And do you live near the mountains by your?
Yeah, I'm lucky enough to live in southern Utah,
Great.
really close to some gorgeous empty spaces.
Great. So Nathan, we haven't actually met in person, so I'm sure we will eventually. I know of you. We've crossed paths in a signal group a little bit and one meeting in preparation for the Memorial Day ayahuasca ceremony that just passed, which is veterans only. Was that so? Was that your first time sitting with ayahuasca? Could you
Yeah.
talk a little about your experience with plant medicine, just in general?
Yeah, that was the first time. First time really with any psychedelic experience.
Wow. So I'm assuming if we talk, it's okay. We talk a little bit about your mental health journey here.
Mhm.
I'm assuming ayahuasca probably was not your first option when it came to mental health care. I'm sure you tried other things before doctors,
Yeah.
prescriptions. I'm curious. Do you remember when you realized, like it really crystallized, when how you felt wasn't, I don't want to say normal, right? Because that's not the word,
Mhm.
but how you felt sad or down or angry or fearful or
Mhm.
however you felt, that you noticed
Yeah.
you needed help for it. Do you remember when that was? And could you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. I am kind of on the downhill slope of one of the worst years of my life. In the span of about 3 months, my wife of 15 years decided she no longer wanted to be married to me, and I lost my dream job. I was laid off, and I remember sitting outside and thinking, I think this is going to be my last Monday. I felt like I had outlived my usefulness and I was in a really bad place,
Okay.
and found the eye emission through one of my former Marine buddies. And yeah, that's what got me in the door.
Okay. So that was, I mean, that's recently. That happened
Yeah, back in March.
back in March. Oh my God. Okay. Wow. So you are fresh. Yeah. When you were in the signal group, you were talking about stuff that was happening. I didn't realize it was, I thought it was maybe months or years ago. I didn't realize it was like a
Yeah.
couple of weeks previous. Oh, that is rough. Okay. So you knew something was wrong. I mean, obviously wanting to kill
Yeah.
yourself. Not that wanting to kill yourself is wrong, but it's not a happy feeling,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. So, your Marine buddy, did you serve with him or did you just know him through something? Like what, connect me,
Yeah. Yeah.
talk
You
about that a little
might
bit.
you might know her, Holly.
Okay. Yep.
Holly. Yeah. I served with her at my last duty station in California. We hadn't really talked since we left, but we were LinkedIn friends, and I kind of followed her career and saw that she, following the Marines, moved into the mental health field. And she posted something on LinkedIn saying, "Hey, I work with this veterans group. If you're interested, let's talk." So yeah, it was just right place, right time, very serendipitous.
So what was your first thinking? Like, why did you think turn to ayahuasca? Like, what was that? Was it just
Yeah.
because would you feel called to it? Was there a logical process?
I have gone through just about every therapy the VA offers. Spent 10 to 15 years on SSRIs, and I yeah, I was just feeling like this isn't really a holistic approach. My therapy at the VA was focused on combat trauma, and there's plenty of that there. Twice wounded combat Marine. It wasn't addressing me like as a person. It felt like there was a lot under the surface that was just sort of festering.
And so I know that in our first episode, and I'm sure you know this man too, Rich Mulder, because he was with you in Memorial Day, he talks a lot about how the people that come out of serving traumatized typically went in traumatized too. Like they had something going on in their lives beforehand,
Mhm.
whether it was, child abuse or it was mental illnesses or mental neurodivergence, like
Yeah.
anything you can think of, right? So did you feel when you were going through the Army's therapy, was that really addressing any of the things that you maybe wanted to work on? I don't want to say that was wrong with you because that's
Yeah.
not what we're talking
Yeah.
about, but the things you wanted to work on, what was that like did you even approach them? Like, how did that work?
Yeah. I got a lot of good, solid information about myself going through
Okay.
therapy with the
Okay.
VA and on active
Okay.
duty. And I think that led me to the point where ayahuasca was able to have the impact on me that it did. The fact that I've been doing the pre-work for over a decade.
Okay. Okay.
Like I went through cognitive processing therapy, and that was very helpful for me to realize, some of my stuck patterns of thinking.
Mm,
And
okay.
yeah, yeah, really hard time with trust, and I worked on that a lot in CPT.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah,
Okay, so you were very experienced with therapies anyway, or when it came to understanding type of stuff. And so you knew when your wife finally left, and I'm sorry, you knew that something then had been like snapped, and you knew that a pill wasn't going to fix it because you were already assuming you were still on the
I
SSRIs.
was. Yep.
Okay, okay. So you knew this was too big for anything to sort of fix.
hmm
How did you initially try to cope with that? Like, what were your ideas? Like, how do you
Yeah.
react to that in the moment?
The After things came to a head with my ex-wife, I drove myself up to the inpatient psych unit at the Salt Lake VA.
That quickly. Good for you.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
for
I
you. Good
I
for
I
you.
knew I wasn't in control, and again, I got what I needed there that they
Right.
could provide. I had a
Right.
safe place to kind of process these emotions and kind of come back down to a baseline, but the answer isn't more pills.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I noticed when I did traditional therapy, they gave me a few diagnoses, right? And that using the framework of those diagnoses helped me understand what I need to work on. It wasn't like, oh, well, I react this way because I have complex PTSD, so it's not my fault. Yeah, that's not what I mean. Did you ever have any frameworks or any diagnoses that helped you better understand yourself or what you wanted to, again, work on?
Yeah. The most impactful diagnosis I've gotten to date, I went to a civilian specialist and was screened for autism.
Oh, wow.
And yeah,
Recently? Or,
in December, yes.
dude,
Yeah, I
oh,
told you.
wow. Whoa. Okay. So that's a lot to just sort of process.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Understanding that my brain works differently than my ex-wife's, or that than most people, was very helpful, and finding a reason why for a lot of the challenges I've been facing my entire life.
Okay. Did the diagnosis sort of, I don't want to say unstabilize, but did it sort of mess up your view of the world? Because I know when I had my CPTSD diagnosis, I was like, oh my God, I know I reacted all those times that way. It doesn't make it okay, but all of a sudden,
Mhm.
all these blocks, and I sort of had a hard time processing at first because it was so much. Did you have any sort of similar experiences with that?
Did.
Okay.
And maybe the opposite of what you went through. Like
Great. Okay.
I started seeing these things I am super awesome at, and
That's great.
Yeah, I work in the technology industry, and my dream job, I was working at Microsoft, and realizing that my hyperfixation on certain things can be very useful in my
Right.
life.
Right.
Yeah. And along with that comes some challenges too. Like when I say I need some time to be quiet
Okay.
and unwind by myself, that
Okay.
is a requirement, not a I need, if I can, I'm going to do this.
Is that do you think maybe that is why you knew to call the VA right away? Because you're like, I just need to process. Like you just knew how to take care of yourself, even though you may not have known that.
I think so. And
Okay.
like most servicemen or service members, veterans, I have people I've worked with in the past that have committed
Okay.
suicide, and I kind of saw how that spreads like cancer,
Wow.
and I didn't want to contribute to that.
Wow. That's just really cool to see your brain working that quickly to sort of, because most, a lot of people, not I'm going to say most, but a lot of people would have just denied it for a while. They would have just like, I'm going to start drinking, or I'm going to start something else, or I'm just going to pretend that I'm
Mhm.
okay. But you didn't. Like clearly.
Yeah, and that 10
Congratulations.
years of groundwork
Yeah. Yeah.
is why I was able to make it through.
Yeah. That's.
Uh,
I mean, clearly it's working. It takes way longer than we ever expect, but clearly it's working. Okay, so you saw Holly. When did you decide to go to because the ayahuasca ceremony was over Memorial Day or over last weekend of May. When did you make the decision to attend? When was that?
I signed up as soon as I saw the link from Holly.
Okay, was that April? Was that March? Was that
Yeah, probably late
okay?
March, early April.
Okay, okay,
I've always been curious about ayahuasca. Well, not always, it just kind of came into the general culture not too
right,
long ago.
right.
But I have done plenty of research on it
Okay,
beforehand,
okay.
and I always thought I would have to fly to Peru
Mm-hmm,
and hike out in the jungle.
mm-hmm.
And, being now I have joint custody of my son, so that isn't something I could just
Right,
sneak away for. And I saw,
right.
holy crap, it's in the United States. This is something I can do. And yeah, the rest is history.
Okay. And so you joined the well, not joined everyone's part of the group. So the Memorial Day group had a bunch of preparation calls. That's what
Yes.
they were called. So you're going through this job change still, right?
Mhm.
Like you were okay, and you're dealing with the aftermath of divorce. I'm assuming you're divorced by this time. So what was it like going into those preparation calls for you? Like were you just like 100% focused on the preparation call because it was like the thing in your life now because everything else was kind of going weird? Or like, what was that? Was it healing? Was it cathartic? Was it sort of annoying? Like you can say it. It's all right.
Yeah.
What was that like for you?
I felt like I found a family that I haven't talked to in a long time. Like Holly, it was something like 17 years since I met her, and as soon as we picked up the phone and talked, it was like no time had passed. So these are all people that I share a very, very similar background with. A lot of them have gone through traumatic relationships like me. So I kind of found a ready-made support system.
Did you enjoy the calls? Like, were they helpful? I wasn't on all of them because I was dealing with my own stuff. So like, what did you get from the calls themselves? Was it just a feeling of connectedness and community, which is fine? Or was there anything specific that you received from it?
A lot of the group is more experienced in plant medicine than I am or I was. So I got to lean on a lot of their experiences. And one of the most important things I learned is Mother Ayahuasca gives you what you need, not what you want. So that'll come into play later in the story.
Okay, good.
But yeah, and the importance of the dieta, and kind of showing that you have some skin in the game and you're not out just to get high.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and there's if you're looking to get high, there's easier, cheaper things to do it for, and you don't really get high in the same with ayahuasca.
Mhm.
So prep works. You talk about the dieta. What was that like for you? Because I noticed you were talking about. I remember somewhere in the chat you were talking about making chicken, and you had put this really good marinade on it, and I was like, "That
Yeah.
sounds really good right now." What was it like changing your diet and sort of getting really simple? Do you think that was easy? Was that like a challenging thing? Talk to
Yeah.
me about that.
I am a caffeine addict.
Whoa.
So
Okay.
that was obviously a little tough. You
Right.
cut out caffeine.
Right. Did you cut that out all at once, or did you taper down? Like, how'd you do it?
I went from probably 2 energy drinks a day to
Okay.
maybe a cup of coffee a day to
Okay.
nothing.
Okay, you just
Yeah.
titrate it down. Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. Good for you. And like food wise, were you able to? I mean, were you able to simplify everything as best you could, or was that a struggle? I'm just curious because I struggle
Yeah.
with the dieta sometimes, and so I'm always curious to how other people may struggle with it.
Yeah. I just had to stop going to fast food restaurants and gas
Okay.
stations
Okay.
for sustenance.
Okay.
I ate a lot of rice, a lot of oatmeal, and a lot of fruit. Yeah, my stomach definitely, it was an adjustment for my stomach. It took maybe a week or two, and then it started feeling normal.
Okay. Yeah. I know when I was in Peru, we had steel cut oatmeal every single day, and everyone else was sick of it when they were done. And I actually ordered more when I got back. So it was a weird thing. Some people take to it, some people don't.
And
So
that's an
what,
autistic superpower, too.
apparently, yes. So we'll do a two-parter. So what was, first, we'll do the most difficult part of your prep. Like, what was the hardest part of the prep for you?
Hmm.
Or it may not even hardest, most challenging, toughest to give up. What was that?
Just being mindful of the media I'm consuming,
Right,
trying to
right.
stay away from, violent TV shows and keep things simple.
Right. Yeah. And whenever I cut down on that type of stuff, I actually feel pretty good. And I don't bring it back into my life until a while after the ceremony. I actually feel better without it. I'm like, I wish I could I see how people go to ceremony all the time because they just stay away from all that stuff. What is the easiest thing, that part of prep? Like, what was the thing that you just was like, oh, this is no problem. I got it.
Uh,
But still was a change.
even the changing the food wasn't very difficult for me. I have no problem eating oatmeal every day for breakfast. That didn't require a ton of it was a change, but yeah, it
Yeah.
wasn't a very difficult one.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so we have talked about prep. That was the month
Mhm.
before, almost all of maybe little of April, but almost all of May. Weekly calls. Did you fly in? Did you drive down here? How'd you get down here?
I live kind of at the border of a drivable distance. It was about 8.5 hours. Yeah.
So you drove down. So what was the drive down like? I'm assuming you're by yourself in a truck
Yes.
or something, a car or something. What was that like? 8.5 hours straight through Arizona, getting ready to take one of the world's strongest psychedelic drugs for the very first time in the middle of the desert. Like, what was that like?
Yeah. I actually grew up in Tucson.
Okay.
So it is kind of like a homecoming. I mean, it's a very different Tucson than the Tucson I left. But the first part of the drive was awesome. Drive through Monument Valley, the Navajo Nation, kind of go down through, what is that? Not Show Low. Maybe it was Prescott. Yeah.
Prescott something. Yeah, I don't remember. I
Yeah.
don't know.
But it was gorgeous, and I got a couple good audiobooks to keep me company. One of them from our homeboy Rich Mulder, and I was just doing my best to kind of put my intention out there and not stress about being late, going into this complete unknown,
Right.
essentially by myself.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So you drove down straight in one day? Did you come down Friday? Leave Friday morning and come all straight, or did you stay somewhere?
I drove down on Thursday and stayed in a hotel in
Okay. All
Tucson
right.
Thursday night. Yeah.
So you've driven down all Thursday, listened to your audiobooks, stopped for food, I'm assuming, or brought food. One of the
Yeah,
two.
I stopped, and it was that was tough.
Those are rough.
Finding road trip food that
Right.
is dieta friendly.
Right. So it's Thursday night. You spent the night.
Mhm.
You woke up Friday morning. Are you excited? Are you nervous? Are you anxious? What are you thinking Friday morning? Right before you go to Maloka.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
Friday night or Thursday night, I almost didn't sleep. I was so anxious.
Okay.
So I woke up, my body was very tight and tense, and then I realized, crap, I gotta check out of the hotel at 10. I gotta pick these other guys up from the airport at like 3, and I gotta be out there by 5. So what the hell am I gonna do today? So I just kind of drove around and looked at my old high school and my old house. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Okay. So you picked up your guys at the airport, done all your other stuff. You're headed out to Maloka. You get there. After driving over the mumpy roads, a little bit. What do you think at first? Are you thinking like, oh, I'm home? Or is it intimidating? Or what's it like walking to Maloka the first time?
Huh. I think it's kind of hard to verbalize. Like, you're waiting in line at an amusement park and you're the next guy to get on the roller coaster.
All right. All right. That's a good one. That's a good one. Okay, so everyone starts arriving at this point. You're I'm assuming talking to the people, some of the people that you met on in the chats, recognizing their names or anything like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Okay.
yep, I
Okay.
am.
Okay. Or you're not keeping to yourself and napping. Some people do that. So,
I couldn't nap if I wanted to.
oh, you were just ready to go. You were ready to
Yeah,
go. Okay. Okay.
I was sitting out, kind of found a little bit of shade by one of the storage containers and just started shooting the shit with the other guys and kind of figuring out their story and why they're here. Yeah.
Cool. All right. You checked in with everybody. You're comfortable. You have your space. What was the first night like? I mean, if you want to talk about the first
Yeah.
drink, you can talk about that. But what was the first night?
First night, yeah, I found my little spot, talked to the buddies to the left and to the right, like, hey, we're probably going to be puking together pretty soon and might as well say hi and get your name. I remember getting into the Maloka way before the ceremony started and just kind of sitting there and be like, come on, guys, let's do this. When the
Yeah.
hell is this going to start?
Yeah.
Listen to the facilitator kind of do his speech. We did the safety brief with Ulysses, and then they called the first timers up to get their drink. I got my drink. I kind of sat back. I was laying on the Maloka looking up at the ceiling and started to see a little bit. I remember seeing it looked like a wave of TV static slowly approaching me, and then it just stopped and it went away. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? I hear all these other people, screaming and puking. That was, my stomach was very sensitive with that first dose, so I didn't keep it down very long. And then I just remember sitting there and hoping. After this, we got to rewind for a little bit.
It's fine.
Yeah, an important part of the story. So, yeah, trying to force myself to stay awake, and I wake up and it's the sun's rising. Everyone is leaving the tent, and what the hell happened last night? I just passed out. Um,
Okay. So what was the thing
yeah.
we have to rewind to?
So another one of the group is a DoD researcher,
Yes.
and
Yes.
she had a smart idea to bring along a portable EEG meter, which measures your brain waves. The night before the ceremony, she took a reading on me, and the night after the ceremony, she took another reading on me. And I woke up and I was feeling kind of down. Like, I had this opportunity to have this transformative experience that would, fill me in with some deep ancient wisdom. And nothing happened. I saw something for about 30 seconds and then I fell asleep. So I was kind of beating myself up a little bit. And then she gave me another reading and she's like, holy crap, dude. Look at this. This is your reading from yesterday. This is your reading from today. All of those brain waves associated with anxiety and depression and PTSD and autistic social masking, those got cut in half. And your happy brain waves have more than doubled. And I'm like, holy crap, dude. Like, I don't have to be awake to have a positive effect. I don't have to see, some long dead relative giving me some pearl of wisdom that I need in my life right now. If it doesn't happen, the medicine works regardless. And at that moment, everything kind of
Okay. Just because you knew that you saw scientific results that something was shifted?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I might be a bit of an outlier in the plant medicine community. I'm not a big woo-woo guy.
Yeah.
That's changed a little bit since, but especially then, if I can't see empirical evidence, I'm not going to waste my time on it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Do you remember what she said any of the results were or anything like that?
I have those saved on a text message.
Okay.
Yeah, I could pull them up if
I'm sure if you want to. I'm asking
Okay.
because I have the results of one of the people that wore an EEG headband that weekend, but I don't know which one it is because I think a different person wore it each
Yeah,
night.
a lot of folks did.
I have somebody's brainwave scan on here, and I'm seeing a gamma going from like 67% to 14%, which is just, and theta going way up. So
Yeah.
it's really cool. I don't know if it's yours or not. And well, you can share it if you want. If you have it, great. If not, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So you wore the headband, or not wore the headband the whole night. You got readings taken at the beginning of the night and then in the morning. You had
Hmm.
one dose, which you purged pretty quickly, it sounds like.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
saw some weird static thing,
Hmm.
and then you slept all night. And then you woke up feeling what? Did you feel like you wasted your night, or were you just sort of like, what happened?
I did feel like I wasted my night.
Okay.
There was a lot of self-judgment there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then she showed you this data, and all of a sudden you realized you felt differently, or did you
Yeah.
all of a sudden then break out of it? How did you feel once you knew the data did you realize that maybe something was different that you just couldn't
Hmm.
recognize it yet? Okay.
Yeah, very much so. Like I felt very calm. I felt very comfortable. Like I was in my element with the people,
Okay.
that I want to be around.
Okay. And so you were talking to people the next day, like just
Hmm.
talking like, I mean, are you usually a talker? I know some autistic people have to mask
Yeah.
heavily. Were you like easily talking to people, or was it still sort of a masking type thing?
I think it was easy. And
Okay.
yeah, I didn't feel like I needed to change anything about myself.
Wow. And now have you ever felt like that before?
Rarely. It might have happened a few times, but
Wow.
yeah.
That's gotta be a cool feeling.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm sure I irritated the shit out of some of the other participants just talking their ear off, but I really didn't care at that point, and they could leave if they wanted to. Yeah.
It's all part of it. Like the last thing people are getting upset about is some excited guy talking about how awesome he feels, right? Like, come on. Okay, so you woke up Saturday, you were like, what the hell happened? I wasted my time. You saw the results, you sort of realized, oh my God, I actually do feel different. And I'm acting not different, but I'm acting, let's just say, at a higher version of myself, a more
Yeah.
complete version of myself. Or complete's not the word, but you know what I mean. What was the day like? What was Saturday like? Did you sit down and eat food and all of a sudden feel different? What'd you do during Saturday?
I wanted to take some time to rest so I could stay up the next night because there were 3 ceremonies, and that didn't happen. I was just way too wired.
Did you even
So
try?
I
Or
I
did you?
tried for a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Well, okay. So I'm asking, how hard did you try? Did you like put something over your eyes and like arrange yourself ready to sleep, or you just sort of lay down for a little bit?
I I'm a I have very particular sleep needs, I guess I should say. There was just too much going around. I wear a CPAP. I like about 66, 67-degree temperature
Yeah. Good luck with that.
and darkness.
Okay.
And yeah, it just
So you didn't even bother with it. You just like, this is not going to happen. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I also have a CPAP machine. I also appreciate cooler temperatures as well, and I don't know how I would sleep in the Maloka at all without a lot of luck and noise canceling headphones and a fan somehow. Okay, so you are wide awake all day. What do you
Yeah.
do on Saturday? What do you do all day?
They had quite a bit planned for us.
Okay.
That was like, if you want to, you can. We had a yoga class. We did some breath work. I can't remember which day that was on, but that surprised the hell out of me. That I had a psychedelic experience in breath work, not with the medicine, right?
Yeah. Well,
Fresh.
did they explain why?
I didn't ask. I was just
Our lungs produce DMT on their own,
hmm.
and our stomach has an enzyme in it called an MAO that dissolves it all the time. And so the reason ayahuasca works is because we take the MAOI of the vine combined with the DMT, which is the same DMT that your lungs produce, and it turns off that enzyme in your stomach. So you can actually have a DMT experience from breath work. And if you already have ayahuasca in your system, it'll make that even easier. So that's why you had it. So you basically you had a DMT trip while having breath work because you already had it in your system. It made it easier for you to do that. So
That makes a lot of sense.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. That's why breath work is it can be so great because basically it produces so much DMT your stomach can't kill it all fast enough for it to before that. So okay, so that's cool. When you said you had experience, what are you talking? Crying, shaking? Like what was the breathwork experience like?
I had my eyes closed and I just saw color gradients moving
Well, that's a
past
fun
the
one.
entire time we were
Yeah,
doing it, and
yeah,
it's kind of going in line with my breath. I was like, okay, I can fuck with this.
right, right. I like
Yeah.
that too. Yeah, there's always sometimes when I get through it, the one I usually see, it's like I'm coming up from a creek bed, like this texture of a creek bed, like rocks, but they're all different colors and prisms and like whatever else. That's what it always looks like, and it's it's great. And I'm usually just crying at the same time I don't really know why, but it's just part of it. Okay. So you're up all Saturday doing
Mhm.
stuff.
Yep.
Did you have any mapacho? Do you have any hape, anything like that? Or are you sticking with just ayahuasca at night?
Oh, at night I did the tobacco snort thing, and yeah, I think that was it.
No one's coming around and shooting and blowing the hape up your nose, right?
No.
Okay, so you didn't have hape, all right, or rape or whatever you want to call it. Okay, so
Yeah.
you're up all Saturday. I'm still laughing at this. You're up all Saturday, and now it's Saturday night, all right? You're in your same spot. What is Saturday night like?
I had a little better feeling of what to expect. I believe I took 3 doses in total, and I still didn't see any visions. And based on what I learned earlier, I'm like, okay, that's fine. Maybe I'm not ready for this. Maybe it has something to do with just my brain that's different than other folks, and that's okay. I took the medicine and I just laid down and thought to myself, I'm here to heal. I surrender. I'm here to heal. I surrender. And then I woke up in the morning.
So no purging at all. So you basically just sat there and took a drink, sat there for a while, took a drink, sat there for a while, took a drink, sat there for a while. No purging or anything that night.
I don't think so. Yeah.
You've had the easiest ceremonies I've ever heard of. Like I'm so jealous of you. This is great.
I
Like take three
remember
drinks and
purging
fall
at
asleep.
some point.
Okay. Okay. So you may have
I
purged.
just I
May
just
have
don't
purged at some
remember
point.
when, and it felt more like my stomach was upset
Right.
from this drink,
From
and I
whatever.
threw it
Okay.
up and my stomach felt better.
Okay. So then, did you get any brain scans done Saturday night, or did somebody else have the EEG?
Yes,
You
every
did
day.
every day.
Every
Okay.
day.
Okay.
And the bad stuff got cut in half and the good stuff doubled every
Wow.
day.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's almost reset during the day, but then overnight it would do a similar cut
Mhm.
or change or whatever else. Okay. So now you've you've drank 3 drinks, purged maybe a little bit,
Mhm.
and you just woke up in the morning to the closing song. What was Sunday like?
I may have the timeline off here, but one of these days we had our little integration circle. And yeah, well, every day. I just can't remember when this specific one was. And I remember a buddy in our group expressing some frustration at a father who left him when he was very young. And that I internalized that very easily, realizing that I came very close to doing the same thing to my own son.
Oof,
And I don't
good
want
one.
him to be working through this at 45, 50 years of age. So I need to figure my own shit out so
Good.
I'm not passing it along to him.
So yeah, so what was that like? Did you feel any shame and guilt with that, or did you just recognize it and then pledge to change it? Like, was there an emotional response to that at all?
Yeah, I was crying like a baby. Like, yeah. Yeah, I'm like, holy shit, I almost put my own kid in this exact same situation. And in the moment, that's not the kind of thing that comes to mind.
Now
Yeah.
you're aware. Now you know, and
Yep.
instead of trying to fix them, just fix you. That's really all you need to do.
hmm
Okay, so did you sleep Sunday?
I slept on Sunday for about an hour and a half.
Yeah, like CPAP sleep, like good CPAP sleep, or just like napping sleep.
I used an inflatable mattress in my pickup bed, and I have
Okay,
one of those soft shells
right,
and
right.
a solar panel and a battery pack. So my
Okay,
CPAP was running, and I
okay,
was in the shade, and I was able to sleep a little
okay.
bit. Yeah.
I asked this because I've only had my CPAP machine for 5 months. I've only brought it to
Mm,
ceremony once, and so the difference between like napping sleep and actual CPAP sleep are huge.
yeah.
Well, I'm sure you know. Anyways, I'm just fascinated by this. Okay, so you actually had an hour and a half of good, normal, whatever you want to call normal,
Yeah.
fulfilling sleep.
Yeah.
All right. An hour and a half. That's funny. So you're coming into Sunday night. You slept for an hour and a half in 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
Are you still talking to people? Do you need space from people? Like, what's your energy level and like tolerance for other outside stuff at this point?
By Sunday, I had learned a horrible mistake I made.
Okay.
Generally wear pants and shoes. And the whole time I was out on the site, I was wearing flip-flops and shorts. My feet were about like Ulysses said they look like bacon.
Right. Ouch.
So I'm horribly sunburned
Ouch.
and just tried to keep my feet in the shade. Still talking to folks. I don't think, that if there was a time where I felt I needed to get away for a little bit, I did, but it wasn't nothing long lasting.
So I'm curious if ayahuasca affects this is why I'm asking you now.
Yeah.
Is you said you sunburned your feet, right? Were you sort of disconnected from your body? Did you know they were being sunburned? Or did you sort of not really feel it until it was already burned?
I saw that they were getting a little pink.
Okay.
But the math just didn't compute in my brain.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Because, I asked this again because my wife is in the spectrum, so I'm always curious about how that type of brain operates. And she doesn't eat until she's very hungry, but she waits until she's super hungry to eat. So then she's like sort of frantic and getting it really quick. And I always chuckle at that because I was like, you can change that. And she's like, I can't. And I was like, okay, cool. We're good. Okay. So now it's Sunday. You've been eating the food. You took an hour and a half nap. You now have bacon feet, which you're, I'm assuming, putting aloe vera or something on to help deal with. What is Sunday evening like?
I remember being a little concerned because I had to drive back the next day. Like, should I take the medicine tonight? And I asked some of the experienced folks, and they're like, yeah, just don't take a third dose at 4 a.m. and you'll be fine. So it was just a little bit more of the same. I'll take the medicine. If I fall asleep, I fall asleep. That's okay. It's still going to work. Yeah, again, I didn't have hallucinations. I just fell asleep and woke up feeling pretty good.
Wow. Have you had what, one drink, 2 drinks on Sunday night?
I think I did 2 on Sunday night.
Good Sunday. All right. Any purging at all?
Nothing that sticks out. I imagine it was just kind of the same where stomach's a little upset. Let's get that out and then you're good.
Right. Okay. Right. Okay. So now it's Monday morning. You wake up. What's that like? It's time to say goodbye. You've been hanging out with the same 30 plus people, 35, I don't know, 20. Yeah. It's a good amount of people.
Yeah.
There.
Between 20 and 30. That's,
yeah.
I think that's fair.
Saying goodbye. Are you fatigued at this point? Are you overwhelmed with talking to people? Or are you still sort of in that same Saturday morning mode of where you're having no problem chatting and no problem energy wise or whatever else?
The integration circle on Monday morning was different than the rest of the days. And Rich was wise enough to kind of give us a disclaimer. Like, I can't remember the exact analogy he used, but like you teleport a Neanderthal into Times Square, let him sit there for 30 seconds and then teleport him back, and he's not going to be able to explain what happened to him to everyone else around him. And
That's pretty good.
You are probably going to feel like that. So setting up expectations about, your story is your story. You don't owe anyone anything. If they ask, what you learned, it's perfectly okay to say, I'm still processing it. He set us up for success as far as putting into action the lessons that we learned about ourselves.
Okay.
In a slow and methodical manner to where you have long lasting change.
Now, had you been journaling? Did you know what those things were for you at that point? Or were you still sort of processing what did or didn't happen?
I didn't do a ton of journaling. And that's something I'm still trying to get into the habit of. When I do it, it's helpful, but having the presence of mind to do it is not always there. Yeah.
Okay. So it's Monday. You have this pretty good recommendation from Rich, like you can't process it. It's going to take a while for you to understand this. You're driving back to Utah on Monday.
Yes.
Okay. So what's the drive like? First of all, how are your feet doing? Are they okay? or are they still pretty
E-
burned?
I'm wearing flip-flops still. One of the guys was kind enough to give me some skin stuff, and I just slathered that on and trying to keep them out of that Arizona sun.
Yeah, you forgot about Arizona sun, I can tell. Yeah. Okay, so your feet are not getting worse. What's the drive back like? You're by yourself. Apparently you have some audiobooks still. Like, what do you think? Like, what comes up on the way back?
I am just really vibing to music, and
Do you usually do that?
I do.
Okay. But you're
And
really
more
doing
so
it this
now.
time.
Yeah,
Okay, really
yeah.
doing it. Okay.
There's a country singer named Sturgill Simpson that I really like, and a lot of his music is psychedelic inspired, or at least adjacent. Right. And there's one song I kept listening on repeat, and the chorus is "Love is all around you," and that just kind of spoke to how I was feeling at that time. So yeah, I listened to that on repeat. I think I made it to Northern Arizona before I switched over to another audiobook, one about ayahuasca called The Cosmic Serpent.
I recommend that to
really
you.
good.
I told you about that in this chat.
Yeah.
Because that's one I listened to in September, and I was like, oh my God, this is really, really good. Yeah, that was awesome. So I'm glad you got a chance to listen to that. Okay, you're driving back. You get home sometime later Monday. What's happening the next day? Are you falling asleep and then getting up right for work? Like, do you have a day to process?
Yeah, I had just started a job.
Yeah.
So they were kind enough to let me have Tuesday off. Or no, it was that Thursday, Friday before, and then I had to go back to work on Tuesday.
Okay.
So it was just kind of straight back into life.
So, okay. So so you're a little different now. What's it like to go into life? Like, do you feel?
Yeah.
Like, how do you, do you feel different, or do you just know something's different, or is there nothing different?
I did feel very different. This new job I started required me to actually be out in the world.
Oof.
I have been working remote since 2019, so a good long time, and I thought that was what I needed. I am this angry, anxious person all the time. It's better for me and for the world for me to work remotely. And I start realizing, like, I actually kind of vibe with people. Like, this is cool. So it was a new job, so there wasn't a large pattern shift for for people. They were still getting to know me. But I do remember that epiphany very clearly, where I'm like, yeah, this is actually feeding me. It's not taken away.
And was this your first day? It was your first day at the new job?
It wasn't my first day. I
okay.
think it was my second week.
Okay. So you went to work for like 1 week and then sat with Aya and came back the second week. Okay. Right. All right. I'm sure they noticed something was different. They're like, I don't know what's going on with this guy. He seems happy, so I'm not going to question it.
So some of the colleagues at work, I told them I am just doing a South American indigenous religious ceremony.
Well, it's not untrue. I say drum circles. So yeah. Okay. So you're back at work. What's going on in your brain? Are you calmer? Are you just not as angry? Are you seeing the world differently? Mm-hmm. Is there anything what's different? What's different about you? I mean, work, home, whatever else. You're working a couple of days, and let's say the weekend comes up. Do you do something differently in the weekend than before? Like, what's different?
One of the fellow participants posed this idea in one of our integration meetings following the ceremony,
which was that 1 week after, right? 1 week after you got back.
It could have been. I can't remember. We've done it for a few.
Yeah.
Maybe a month after the fact, we continued with integration meetings. He said, ayahuasca has given me a 2-second pause between stimulus and response. And I'm noticing that too. Like, with my kids, with things at work that upset me, people driving like idiots on the road, I now have a chance to take a breath and decide how I want to react rather than just react.
Wow. What's that like? Is it just, is that freedom? Does that, like, what, have you ever had that? Do you remember when you had it before? Have you never, ever actually felt like this?
I don't think I've ever felt like this. And the biggest and most impactful area of my life where I'm noticing this is with my son. like I don't want to scream. Like, and usually he would just be a 6-year-old and be loud, and I don't want to hear loud, so I would explode. And now, hey buddy, if we want to be loud, let's go outside. You can be as loud as you want outside. And it's been working. I don't know if he's noticed a difference. He might not be at the age where he has the level of awareness to realize that, but I certainly have, and the other people in my life have as well.
I'm sure he does at some level, even if he can't vocalize it or whatever else.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So it's sort of, I mean, it sounds like it's made you, I mean, you could say better father, but I would say a better person. And I don't want to use the term better, but a calmer person.
Yes. Yeah. I
Yeah.
am closer to the person I want to be than
Okay.
I was
Okay.
before.
Okay. So you've been since the end of May. You've done the month of integration calls. What sort of self-care do you do normally, or you do any sort of self-care? Like, are you working out? Is there meditation? Are there naps? Like, is there what do you do to like feel, good?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, hiking in the mountains, that's one.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
counts.
Yeah.
That counts. Yeah.
Yep. I
Okay.
like hiking. My taste in music has changed significantly.
Yeah. So, what are you listening to? What are you listening to?
A lot of Icaros, those
Okay. Okay.
ceremonial ayahuasca songs. There's this I think she's Argentinian named Loli Cosmica
Okay.
that I have been vibing with a lot, and yeah, I usually just listen to that in my car and have a mini meditation session.
Oh, wow. Okay. So so you listen. That's great. Have you been to any like sound healings or any sort of drum circle? Have you had any time for any of that since you've been back? Or have you sat in any sort of other healing capacity events?
So my girlfriend, I met her
Congratulations.
right before I started the
Congratulations.
ayahuasca journey,
Okay.
and she's been there in a great source of support for me. And she also has PTSD.
Okay.
She's not a veteran, but
Yep.
just a human.
Yep.
And me and her have experimented a little bit with psilocybin in a ceremonial setting, and yeah, that's been cool.
Has that? I'm curious. Do you know what strain you're using? I facilitate mushroom ceremonies. So I'm just always curious.
I bought a ceremonial chocolate from psilocybin.
Okay, so it's probably a penis envy type thing.
Yeah,
I'm always guessing.
maybe.
I'm just curious. This is a complete
Yeah.
curiosity for me.
And I've started microdosing psilocybin as well. The goal was to keep my brain in this healing state where I can kind of rewire the connections into what I want them to be. And it's been helpful with that.
Cool, cool.
Yeah.
Any meditation, any breath work, anything like that you've been trying?
In the moment, like when I can tell myself getting stressed, I have been doing breath work.
You do it on your
But
own. Oh, that's
yeah,
great. Oh, that's
and
great.
it's not some huge thing,
Uh-uh.
it's just
Yeah,
breathing, focusing on my breath for 15, 20 seconds, and
yeah.
usually that brings me back down to reality.
Well, that's so cool. That's a pretty advanced skill because you should have to go to class for a while to figure that out. So congratulations on that. Have you noticed that the psilocybin is making it easier to make those changes? Like we talk about the plasticky stuff, but have you like actually noticed it's easier to change habits when you're on there?
I believe so. Like, yeah, like I'm at my work desk, and when I take a break, I've been doing, some stuff on my own, and I don't think I would have done that 6 months ago.
Right. Right. So compare yourself to 6 months ago. What did you do? What would you fall into? I mean, not the video games. Like, what were you doing instead of this? What were you doing?
My like losing myself in a show I'm binging
Okay. Okay.
is pretty classic
Okay.
Nathan. Would self-medicate quite a bit with THC. I still use THC, but not as a means of escape.
Okay. Right. Yeah, I've noticed that I always appreciate ayahuasca ceremonies because for the couple weeks before and a couple months afterwards, my cannabis desire and usage reduces tremendously, which is the whole point, right? Like, I don't want to
Yeah.
have to fight wanting to use cannabis, but I also don't want to feel like shit either. So it
Mhm.
feels good when you don't want it as much, for sure. So How are things? It's been 2.5 months, 3.5 months, 2.5 months. What's it like now for you? Are you, I mean, you have a girlfriend, you are working on, you have a son who you now know how to work a relationship with him. You have a new job, which doesn't seem terrible.
Yeah.
What's life like for you? How are things?
Yeah, I think things are going awesome.
Okay.
Like, my girlfriend will hopefully be accompanying me to the ceremony in Veterans Day weekend.
Okay. As I was going to ask,
We'll
your next ceremony planned is Veterans Day?
hopefully, yep,
Okay. Okay.
if timing, money, all that sort of thing works out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. Okay. Yeah, I might actually be down there for that one. So cross my fingers
Awesome.
somebody will do it. So
Yeah.
it'd be nice to meet you. So what else have I not asked that you think I should know or people in general should know? I mean, you don't have to talk about your military service or anything,
Yeah.
because I think we all sort of, not that the details aren't as important, right? Because like everyone
Mhm.
has a similar violence type thing. But yeah, what do you want to talk about? If you want to talk about that type of stuff, so anything that,
Like, I firmly believe the ceremony would not have been as effective for me had I not already done so much therapy.
right? Okay.
And if someone out there is looking at trying plant medicine for the first time, realize that it's okay if your experience is different than someone else's. The healing will happen, whether you want it to or not.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. And it sounds like, because I was similar in the same way. I had been in therapy for 5 years before I sat with ayahuasca at first. And I'm glad I started somewhere, because we can't all start with ayahuasca. Like, we don't have the capability. We don't have the money. We don't have the time. We don't have the know-how of knowing someone who's just in a ceremony. Right.
Hmm.
And so I think for a lot of people who feel down, take advantage of what you can now. Don't hold out for that. Right.
Yeah. And the work you put in directly influences the outcome.
Right. One more thing. Have you talked to your therapist at the VA about this? Do they know what you're up to? Are they okay with it? Like, is that a thing?
Yeah, I think the VA is changing their opinion on psychedelics in general.
Does they work?
Yeah, yeah, very much so. I told my therapist as I was going through, or not therapist, my psychiatrist, the medication provider.
That psychiatrist, yeah.
Yeah, that I stopped taking my SSRIs as part of the dieta. And she's like, well, how did that go? And I told her it wasn't painful. It was a little uncomfortable for a little bit, but
Right.
that's okay. And she's like, well, how do you feel now? And I'm like, I feel better than when I was on them. So she said, okay, that's fine. I won't write you another prescription. I haven't been seeing a therapist directly, but I have the luxury of having a friend who is a therapist. And when there's something I feel like I'm stuck on, or maybe just need a different perspective, she's kind enough to give that to me.
Very nice. Very nice. And
Yeah.
also, I'm assuming you have a support of the eye mission, all that type of stuff, if you have any other questions as
Yeah.
well. Okay.
Yeah. I'm talking with those guys every day.
Yeah. Yeah. I was curious. So have most of you kept in touch in some way? Or a
Those
lot
who
of
have
you?
wanted to
Does it
have
want to?
have been
Okay.
able to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Like in a group chat, or like, are you guys talking individually?
We have a signal chat.
Cool. You're sort of just supporting each other and helping them out and talking stuff. So great. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything I have not asked you that you want to answer? Is there anything that you really want to get off your chest? That you really want to share?
My dogs have noticed the difference. I was not expecting that.
How are they showing it?
I mean, they were Velcro dogs before.
And
They
now
would
they're,
not leave my side. Yeah, they just absolutely adore me.
wow. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. What kind of dogs do you have?
I have a red healer.
Okay.
I locked him out, or he
Yeah.
would be probably on my lap right now.
I have a dog who's also locked out. So yeah.
And a German Shepherd. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay. That's cool. That's cool. Can you communicate with them easier? I could do that with my blue healer after my first ayahuasca. Like, she really hates the vacuum, right? She just hates the
Mhm.
noise. And for whatever reason, after ayahuasca, my first weekend, I was able to hold my hand out and say, "Hey, calm." And she would sit and she would calm and wouldn't bark. And I was like, what the hell just happened? I've had this dog for 6 years. I've never seen this. Do you have any, has there been anything like that? Like, do you interact with them any differently than you used to, or are they just loving?
They're loving, and like my German Shepherd was like a legit rescue. Someone dumped him out in the desert and
Huh?
I happened to stumble upon him. So I think he has doggy PTSD,
Okay.
and he just kind of vibes with me because I'm a little more slow and methodical and quiet.
Got it. Got it. Very
Yeah.
cool. Very cool. All right. That's all I have, unless you have anything else that you want to share, because that was a really cool one. I appreciate that one.
Yeah. No, I think that's it.
All right. So I've been Tyler Hurst of Microdose Yoga, and that's been Nathan Henderson right there. So thank you very much, Nathan. I really appreciate this. Appreciate you coming on.
Okay.
Bye, everybody.
Yeah. Bye. Thanks for listening. He said ayahuasca has given me a 2-second pause between stimulus and response. And
Mhm.
I'm noticing that too.
Okay.
Like, with my kids, with things at work that upset me,
Right.
people driving like idiots on the road. I
Yeah.
now have a chance to take a breath and decide how I want to react rather than just react.
Okay.